Hi everybody and welcome to my DIY channel, and today we're going to work with this Dollar Tree sleigh in some of the tumbling tower blocks. You're going to need 4 sets of 3 and a couple of the door hangers for the wreaths and a sack of some sort to look like Santa's sack, some embellishments, and I used one of these big metal reindeer from Walmart. How gorgeous is that? I also took time to slowly bend that snowflake back. It just stuck out way too far and it really wasn't very becoming. And when I wanted to hook this to this sleigh, I wanted it to be back farther. And it really, if you took your time, it bent really easily. The first thing I did was I took these wreath hangers and I straightened out and then bent the ends back on the part that goes over the door. These snap off easily, and these will be the back part of the runners. And I intentionally was going to use those as part of the rail that holds the sled up, but as you'll see, it didn't work out. So I skipped that part and just used 4 stacks of 3 to hold up the sled. I actually gave these an extra little bend up at the end to give them more of a curve, just like a real sled rail would have at the end. And it worked out really nicely. These are nice to work with. I decided, because it failed, to go ahead and use 4 sets of 3 of the tumbling towers, and I glued them together with the Dollar Tree wood glue and hot glue. The wood glue gave a permanent hold and the hot glue gave it a quick bond. And then after I got all 4 sets of them together, I painted them all with the Waverly Chalk paint in crimson, which matched the color of the wreath hangers that I was using for the rails, and it worked out perfectly. I didn't have to try to do any color matching or anything like that. I really like working with the tumbling tower blocks. They are usually a really nice size for anything that I've done with them lately. I haven't really done any crafting that I needed to put on my channel. A lot of the stuff was just things I was doing around the house for myself. And I'm not sure what the hot glue is I was using, but that stuff glued like instantly, even on its own. For Santa's sack, you'll see that I use one of the sacks which you buy in a pack of 3 from Walmart, and I stuff it with just grocery sacks. And I also use for embellishments parts of a pick, a drum, and a little present. And here when I paint this, I'm using the Waverly Chalk paint in white. You'll want to make sure you go in side to side or straight and always use the same pattern. And it took 3 coats and drying in between. After I was done, I did go over this with a clear coat and let that set to help keep it from scratching, because the chalk paint on plastic will scratch. Okay, so we're back with this, and it is dry both inside and out, and I have taken and sprayed some clear coat over this because you didn't want to scratch it. I am also going to take my gold paint and put some gold trim on this. I bought this ribbon just for this and realized later it didn't work. I tried some other combinations and they didn't work either, so I had to go back to the drawing board. Here I am painting on the gold paint on the trim. I believe it's folk art from Walmart, and it is the metallic gold. I love using this color if I need a little bit of glittery gold. Now I decided at the last minute to get this gold glitter ribbon that I've had for quite a while out. And when I opened it, I was like, wow, that's really thick ribbon. But guess what? It is actually sticky. Actually, I'm going to kind of eyeball it. And then I'm going to trim my edges off. Just a little bit. So I only have a little that's going to go around the corner, which will give me a guide as to where to put my sides. And I'm going to go ahead and go all the way around. So I have this all done all the way around on all the sides. Here I'm showing you that what I had planned really did not work. So I went back to the drawing board and I had made 2 more sets of the 3 stack of the tumbling tower blocks, painted them, and I'm setting them up and lining them up to where I need them to be and making sure everything is in alignment. I glue this all down. A little at a time, making sure that they're pretty much in alignment the best I can. And I did kind of have it off a little bit. I should have measured everything out a little better, but you know, hindsight. So I'm lining up the sleigh with the rails, and I'll tell you what, I wish I knew what kind of glue this was because I don't have the packaging to it. But once you put this glue fast to whatever you're fastening it to, there is no wiggle room. You want to make sure you have it in place perfect because it does not wiggle. And I wasn't off that far, but you know, it really did turn out beautifully. Um, and then I get the sack ready to go in. We're just going to set it in there at an angle. If you can see that. No, you can't. At an angle. I had this earlier so you could see everything, and I think I bumped it. And then we're going to put, and I wish I had different colors, but I looked all over and I don't. I'm just going to set a drum and a gift up here, and I'm going to kind of glue them onto the bag. So they look like they're coming out of the bag. Like that. Gluing some bells. I have glue stuck to that. And I'm going to hot glue this greenery. And I'm going to let that set. Now, to attach my deer to my sleigh, I'm actually going to take some of this ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to glue it to the inside the sleigh. I'm going to give plenty of room because I'm going to actually glue it in behind here to this back side of this, and then bring it back to, we're going to take this tag off, to the sleigh, making it look like he is attached to it, because you can't get in behind here to wrap it around his neck. So that's how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to plan out how long I want this. I want a good distance between the deer and the sleigh. So we're looking at probably that much ribbon. I'm going to cut it off. Give myself a little extra room. So from there to there, that will give that deer that much room between the deer and the sleigh. So we're going to first make sure that we can attach this to the inside of the sleigh with some glue on one side. Let that set a second. We're going to attach this and make sure we do not have a twist in it. To the inside of the sleigh on this side. Then we're going to bring this end, and I don't want to pull too tight. We're going to find the center, and we're going to come up behind the deer, and we're actually going to attach it right here, behind here, so that this will go this side of the deer, and that will go that side of the deer. So you kind of want to play with it a little bit and find the center. Like so. So now I'm going to glue these two pieces together. With just a dab of hot glue. At the fold. And then I'm going to glue it to this little spot right here. And we're going to hope that this sticks. And I've run out of glue. I always run out of glue at an important moment. Crossing our fingers, folks. That will surprise me if that holds as little bit of a hot glue as that has. That's actually holding. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to set this up and show you how it looks. So there it is, guys. Check it out. How beautiful is that? There's the sleigh. Couple little gifts. I cannot find a Santa that looks like a real Santa to go in the sleigh, but if I find one, I'll put it in there. The reins held. There is my deer from Walmart. I love that deer. And bending that snowflake around like that just makes it so much nicer, guys. How beautiful. I love that. Turned out wonderful, even with all the problems I had. It came out great. The only thing I forgot to do was put the snow on the end of the rails, but there it is. It's beautiful. I love it. And my willow tree. Thank you guys for watching. I know this was a long tutorial, but it was so worth it in the end. Bye, guys.